We see too many beautiful, gorgeous people who cannot be fully in their beauty because they have severe acne. I see it, you see it, and you might be one of those gorgeous, beautiful people who cannot be fully present in the gift that God has given them because you have acne. The thing about acne is everyone gets a little something here and there. Like you could see, even for me, like right now, I have a little something. But it becomes a problem when it's all over your face, and that can start to affect your confidence. When I had acne, I had to show up. And if you have acne, you have to show up regardless. Like you just have to be in certain places. You cannot keep yourself in complete isolation. That is extremely unhealthy. The key to clear skin is in the habits that you create for yourself. And those habits help you to become a person who has clear skin. Your habits make up who you are because they are what you consistently do. You are what you are consistently doing. And in order to create those habits that get you to where you have clear skin, just it's just there, you first have to be healed enough to get there. Now, food is a healing mechanism that I love to use in order to get myself from point A to point B. And the skin needs food too. So I'm going to give you some ways that you can heal in order to have clearer skin. And I'm also going to give you some of those foods for your skin that really helped me on my journey to clear skin. Now, as far as credentials, I'm going to be showing y'all pictures of me throughout my whole journey. What you need to know right now about the state of my skin is that she's clear. She doesn't have acne, period. Like I might get a little something, but that's normal. And it's especially normal because I'm not using any medication to keep my skin clear. Meaning, I'm not on birth control. Birth control can make your skin clear. I'm not on anything that you can get from a dermatologist or from a pharmacy type of store. So that includes spironolactone. I know a lot of people take that to clear their skin. I'm not on tretinoin. A lot of people use that to clear their skin, and just keep up with the upkeep. I personally don't like tretinoin. I tried it before. I had that whole journey of using things and nothing really worked permanently. Yeah, I'm not using anything from the doctor. What got me to have clear skin and what will get you to have fully clear skin is healing whatever is making pimples come on your face. I chose to go the completely natural route. If you looked in my skincare drawer, you would find complete natural products. Amen. Praise God. And maybe I'll do a tour. If you want a little tour of my skincare drawer, let me know because I would love to show y'all just natural products that you can use for your skin that help keep your skin clear. But the work truly comes from the inside. Now, this is me when I was 14 or 15, about 15 probably. And my skin was clear, okay? But if you can look at the top, I don't know if you can see the little pimples that started coming on my forehead. This is where I was first starting to get acne. It's puberty, it's adolescence time, hormones, and all those things. So for me, that was a problem. I went on proactive because that's what I thought you had to do to get clear skin, right? When really I could have just kept my skin the way it was. That wrecked my skin. And around that same time, I also got into a relationship that I was not really, I won't say I wasn't supposed to be in, but that I was in and it wasn't supporting me in the way that it needed to. And I know that because my skin got worse. Okay, my skin got worse. And I won't say like, oh, it's his fault, but it's really my fault for just being with him when I felt like I wasn't supposed to. And now I want to show you. just the state of my skin during that time. Because what happened was when you have a disease, which cystic acne is a disease, which is what I had. If it gets to the point where it's cystic, it's really a disease. And you have to hit all levels of healing, right? So the physical is going to talk, we're going to talk about the things that you can put on your skin and what you can put inside your body to help. The emotional is those things that you're running away from, that those questions that you either fail to ask yourself or fail to answer honestly about your past, about who you desire to be, about what you're currently doing. Mental. Mental is more about your, I would say, how you are letting other people affect you, how you are interacting with others, and what you're allowing into your head, and how far are you participating in life? Are you fully present? And then spiritual, of course, which also hinges on the mental, like it's almost part of the mental too. But spiritual is more your connection with God. And it goes back to that presence that I mentioned. Are you able to connect with God? Are you able to feel when He is speaking to you, when He's telling you to go one way, and then that affects all the other sectors that we were talking about, mental, emotional, physical, like spiritual will affect all of those things. And honestly, they will all affect each other. So before I find the next picture to kind of show you what I was going through, if I didn't delete them all, um, let me just give y'all the physical because that's probably the most easy way to start your clear skin journey. And because it's you can decide what you put into and on your body. First things first, fast. I talk about fasting so much because it is just the thing that's going to help your organs get rid of any waste that is keeping them from functioning properly, therefore keeping them from excreting waste out to your skin to help them function properly. So you have to get the waste out of your liver, your kidneys, your adrenal glands, your stomach, and you have to allow those things to heal so they can function. Once you fast, you allow that process to happen repeatedly, fast repeatedly. And then once you fast and you get that waste out, be more intentional about what you put into your body, about what you eat. Look at ingredients. Look at ingredients. Why are there 10,000 ingredients in something that's very simple? If you cannot read it, don't be eating it. There might be some times where you do eat a little something that has ingredients that you don't know. Fine. But when you're shopping for yourself, shopping for things in your household, make sure that you can read it and you know exactly what it is and it's not something that's bioengineered. Now, the fun part for me, the food is the fun part, like what I eat. And I've made so many videos on what to eat and things like that. I think eating for yourself, your own body is the most important thing. If you're allergic to something, don't eat it. But for me, what became fun in my skincare journey was realizing that my skin had to eat too. So when I would start putting sea moss gel, which we love for our digestion and inside our bodies to help clear our skin. It can actually help clear your skin physically. This was something that I realized before I went to Curacao for my birthday. I had eczema actually on my body, and I remembered that I had used sea moss to help clear eczema that I had on my neck one time. So I was just doing it on the other areas of my body that I had it, like my legs and my arm, and it really helped. And I thought to myself, well, what about if I use this on my face? So I made a very clean, sanitary batch because anything that goes on my face has to be extremely clean. I made a clean and sanitary batch of sea moss gel, and then I started to put it on my face at night as a face mask. Sometimes I would sleep with it by accident, and then I'll wake up and my skin would be soft, really soft, because what sea moss gel does to your skin is it simultaneously dries out any of that gunk in your skin while also hydrating your skin. It can be drying if you leave it on for too long in its state of dryness because it goes on like a gel and then it dries really tight. So it tightens your skin, it brightens your skin, it makes it like plump because it's dries on your skin. It's really tight. So it can also help with any wrinkles or scarring and things like that. But it can also hydrate because it's a gel. So it has those minerals and hydrating nutrients inside of it. I stopped using sea moss gel probably after a few months because I was leaving it on for a while and it was drying, and I was leaving it on. I was doing it every day because I was like, I'm not using any medication. So this is going to be the replacement for my medication. I was using sea moss gel in replacement of the dermatologist recommended medications that I was taking before. And in yesterday's video, we actually talk about when nourishment becomes dangerous. And because I was using sea moss gel almost like a replacement for medicine, I still had the mindset that it was my medicine, and I wanted to completely get rid of the mindset that I needed something to keep my skin clear always. And I was using the sea moss as a crutch. I wanted to just have clear skin. Like there's people out here walking around with clear skin naturally who don't got to do nothing. They don't even wash their face twice a day. They wash their face once a day. And so I stopped using it because of that reason of not wanting to hold on to it. Check out yesterday's video about when nourishment can become dangerous because it can. I'll leave that in the description for you. And it's going to be under your next watch. And I started moving on to other things, which I still do today because they don't feel like they don't feel like a crutch. They feel more supportive in my journey. They feel more like makes me feel feminine and really good. And I feel like they're nourishing my skin, but they're also nourishing my my mental state and making me my mind more clear. And these are two things that a lot of people talk about. So if you are someone who has acne, I know not everything works for everybody. That's for sure. But I'm willing to bet on these two things. The first one is going to be oil cleansing. And oil cleansing was something that you probably might be really scared to do if you have active, large cystic pimples on your face because you're like, why would I add oil to my oily skin that everyone's saying if you have acne, you have oily skin? Why would I add oil to that? I get it. I know what you're thinking because I thought the same exact thing. Why would I add oil to that? But the oil actually is like a magnet for excess oil, and for debris and dirt in your skin that might be causing the acne and trapped cyst underneath. So actually, when I started oil cleansing, I noticed that there was this is going to be a little bit nasty, but there was so much that was coming out of my skin. Like when you oil cleanse, you will feel little balls of gunk, of whatever sits underneath your skin and is actually making your skin unclear. It comes out. And I would be rubbing my skin with oil for, I would get lost in the time, 30 minutes, sometimes like 45 minutes. It can be scary to go that long at first, so maybe try 10 minutes until you start to feel those things coming out of your skin. And it also helps you to connect with your skin. I feel like when you have cystic acne, it might be hard to touch your face, and oil cleansing allows that healing energy from your hands on your skin and on your face, and it brings you back a connection with your face that acne can sever. And when you oil cleanse, by the way, when I first started oil cleansing, I used hemp seed oil. The oil depends completely up to you and what your skin likes. I use hemp seed oil, but I stopped using hemp seed oil. I now use the Honey Girl Organics facial cleanser, which is basically a cleanser with honey, olive oil, and a few other ingredients that it creates an oil cleanser that I really love. My skin loves. I would then, after oil cleansing, wash my face with a regular cleanser that foams because that helps my face feel clean. I like to see foam to help my face feel clean. Oil cleansing will change your skin because it gets underneath, it gets what's underneath out. And it also is a means of exfoliation because you're rubbing your skin and it's getting all the dry skin off with the oil. What I would also do, because I'd like to combine these different healing mechanisms, was I would speak life over myself. I would speak affirmations over myself while I was doing the oil cleansing. And I would close my eyes. Sometimes I would turn off the lights to really connect with my body and with my face, to feel that connection again with my face, to feel how I can come back to my skin, how I can just regenerate the love that I have for my skin and my face and realize, it's not my fault, or if it is my fault, I'm taking full accountability right now and I'm speaking over my skin, saying that I have clear, beautiful skin, that my skin is smooth, soft, and supple. My skin is glowing. I would just say these things while I was rubbing the oil on my skin and cleansing it that way. And it brought me so much peace. It didn't matter that when I looked in the mirror, I might have still had acne because I knew that I was creating those habits that were healing me and that would actually help me become the person who has clear skin. And I still have this habit today. Now, sometimes I'm not saying affirmations when I do my oil cleansing. Sometimes I might be watching a show in Spanish to help me learn some Spanish, or just watching a show to wind down for the night. Because I like to get lost in the oil cleansing, so it can go on for several minutes. And that really helps. Your skin likes to eat, okay? Sea moss gel is a food, oil is a food. And the next food that, y'all, don't sleep on this. Do not sleep on this one. This one is going to take you from bumpy to smooth. Okay. And it is honey. Honey is so healing for your skin. It's so healing for your skin if you use really good quality honey. The honey that's a little bit funky because it's raw honey and they it still has the the propolis in it, the um pollen in it, and it's raw. You put that on your face, you let it sit as a face mask. It's going to help clear your skin because it's antibacterial. It's getting rid of that bacteria that can cause acne. It's antifungal. If you have any fungal acne, it's getting rid of that. It's hydrating. It's a humectant. It's drawing moisture from the air and it's allowing your skin to absorb the moisture. It's wound healing. So any scars or any, if you might have accidentally popped a pimple or something on your face. I really hate talking about like popping and like pimples and stuff. I hate those words. They're triggering a little bit, but it is the reality of what having acne is like. And so when you put the honey on, it's like healing that wound. It is fantastic as a face mask, just alone, just by itself. You can also use Manuka honey because that's also really good quality honey. But start with whatever honey that you have. Just make sure that it's real honey, not any like corn syrup type of honey. Just make it real honey and it is going to take you there. It's going to take you there. You have to be consistent over time. If you want clear skin tomorrow, that's when you go to the doctor. That's when you go to the dermatologist, but that's not sustainable. You're not going to be able to have that unless you keep going to the doctor and getting this prescription medicine. If you want to get off that completely, I'm telling you, it is possible. And the last food that I have is going to be flaxseed gel. This is a new addition to skincare because I don't know, maybe you have seen this woman who talks about how it's like Botox for your skin. And flaxseed gel is very similar to sea moss gel in the way that they perform on your skin. They go on as a gel and dry and like make your face really stiff. And you can't move your face. It like pulls on your skin and tightens your skin and hydrates it at the same time. So flaxseed gel and sea moss gel are very similar in the way that they can contribute to your skin's health. And that is the the physical kind of ways that your face can eat. Now, I just want to find a picture for y'all to bring you on this journey, but sometimes you delete stuff because you just don't want to remember what that was like, and that was me. I like becoming a new person, and so sometimes I delete old pictures, which in moments like this, like these are, it's not the best thing. I mean, this is somewhat of what I was dealing with. It doesn't really look that bad in this picture. I was wearing makeup, but that was when I graduated from high school. We're going back in time. Because this was a time when I would say that the mental aspect of having clear skin was not there because I was, a little bit disassociating from life, I would say. I wasn't happy all the way. And it can be, teenage years, blah, blah, blah. But also there's a reason for that. And it connects with the emotional aspect because there were emotions that I wasn't dealing with. And so when it comes to kind of emotional and mental ways to heal through having acne, I would say that for emotional You have to become more and more vulnerable with yourself. Something that I did have to allow myself to do, and I'll just give this one example for emotional, is allow myself to be cringy with myself. I wouldn't even allow myself to do a certain dance move or act like completely stupid or silly when I was by myself. It's like no one's here watching me. No one is here to judge me. It's a reflection of how I would be judging myself. Because even if other people were there, they might not be thinking or judging me for doing whatever I wanted to do that may have been cringy. So when I was by myself, I started doing whatever I wanted. So if I was listening to a song and I wanted to do like a crazy dance move, or I wanted to fake slap myself in the face, or do whatever crazy, silly thing that came to mind that I thought would be cringy and someone would judge me for it, I completely let go. Completely let go. Because I don't care who sees. The thing about acne is like you're hiding. It's a way to hide from yourself, from the world, from other people around you because they can't fully, you think they can't fully see you. And it's because you have this acne going on, but they can still see you. You have to realize that. You have to be okay with your deepest, darkest secret being revealed to the world, whatever that may be. I'm talking about if you're a murderer, if you're a rapist, eh, if you have been raped, things like these like deep, dark secrets, if they are revealed to the world, would you be okay? You have to just be okay. That actually comes from God. Knowing that God has forgiven you, knowing that your sins are forgiven, that's where that will come from. So I started healing that when I became saved by Jesus Christ because I realized whatever my deepest, darkest secrets are, I'm saved. I'm good. I'm good. I don't know about y'all. Y'all need to get saved. I'm good. I don't care if my deepest, darkest secret got revealed. I'm not going to reveal it to the public. But I think part of healing too is telling someone that you trust and love. They have to be someone that you trust and love and being okay with that. Another thing you can do if you're not there yet is journal. Like no one is going to ever read what you're writing. A lot of the time when we get into journaling, we write like someone's going to read it. That's defeating the purpose. You need to write like no one's going to read it. Like this is just for you and you. And if someone does read it, so what? At least you got it out. That feeling is so freeing to just get it out. Release, just get it out. So that's more of the emotional healing. There's so much more that I could get into, but I actually do have somewhere to go. So, when it comes to mental, I think it's hard to kind of talk about that because I feel like it's definitely connected to emotional, but I would say a lot of that is about, for me, where I'm spending my time. And so where you're spending your time will contribute to your mental state. And also there is mental. It just came to me. Mental is where your thoughts are. Mental is what are you thinking about constantly? You're not going to know what you're thinking about constantly unless you're able to hear your own thoughts. That requires alone time, that requires presence. That also requires being open to feedback, what other people tell you. Um, and that can require asking, like, hey, what do I talk about? Hey, what are three words to describe me? Um, People you trust and love again, because having people tell you about yourself who you do not trust and love can be dangerous. So, where are your thoughts? Something that helped me a lot mentally with knowing my thoughts would be meditation. meditation when I was really into it. I haven't been on my meditation game lately, but when I was really into meditation, I'm talking about sitting down, breathing deeply, getting lost in that meditative state for like an hour, 45 minutes, 30 minutes, however long I had, and using different meditation techniques such as breathing techniques or saying a certain thing over and over again or bringing your thoughts back to the present continuously. That revealed to me that the rest of the day, because I was able to focus my mind, I could hear what my mind was conjuring up for the rest of the day because it was almost like quiet, quiet somewhere, but I could still hear what was going on in my mind. So it's like you enter a quiet room and you stay in the quiet room, and then chatterboxes start coming in. You can start hearing them versus you enter a loud room and everybody's already loud. You can't really hear what they're talking about. So when that room was quiet and people entered in, the people being the thoughts in my head, I can now hear them like, oh, this is what you're thinking about? Oh, oh. And then you start seeing the things that you do repeatedly. Like when you go into the bathroom, the first things that you start to do, like you do these things every day, but they kind of bypass your mind because they're so automatic. You start to see, oh, why do I even do this? Let me change that. Let me go ahead and change that. So reading as well can help with your mental, reading about whatever interests you, but also what you're trying to work on at that time. So when I was healing my skin, I was reading a lot about natural remedies, about healing foods and ways to eat that were healing. And this started to change my mindset around healing and around what that meant, around what being a healer of myself meant, and how it could even help other people do that. Reading will change your mind. The thing about school that I realized is they made us read books because they were shaping our mind into whatever they wanted with the books that we read. Outside of school, you have autonomy, and even inside of school, you have autonomy to do that for yourself. You can shape your mind with whatever you want to be by reading a book about what you want to be or desire to be. That really would help with your mental. And lastly, spiritual. Spiritual is there's so much. I think with spiritual, it's about your relationship with God and how that can translate practically. Um, Whether you're a believer or not, is your values in this life. What are those top things that you value? And do you do you seek them? For me, it's like freedom and adventure. And so if I'm not seeking that, I don't feel spiritually alive. I don't feel connected to God because those are my values. Family. If I don't speak to my family, I don't feel connected to God in the way that, well, I won't say that because I feel like I can always feel connected to God, but I would feel more connected because that is a value of mine. God is everywhere. So when it comes to spiritual, I feel like that's something that I would have to make another video on because I would really want to give y'all some deep thoughts on that. Um, but fasting is probably the number one spiritual tip, physical tip, emotional tip, mental tip, period. But fasting really helps spiritually as well because it just allows you to be empty and with your body and hear God's thoughts clearly. I'm talking about, whew. It's funny, I was talking to someone about an adventure that they had went on, and they were on a really long fast, like a Jesus type of fast, 40 days with no food. And they were talking about how they just got the urge to move and to go to the airport at like randomly, like that day to move. And they went because they were on a fast. And when they were at the airport, it was like they could hear God's voice saying, look here, go here, turn right. And that's how deep it gets when you do a prolonged fast. You can hear God so clearly because of there's less distraction. And you can fast from a bunch of things. You can fast from food, but you can also fast from TV and social media. You can fast from anything that is a distraction to you. I desire for you to feel beautiful in your skin, and that's going to require clear skin. You can feel beautiful in your skin when you have acne, and actually, it's going to have to start there. But what's really going to make you feel beautiful in your skin completely, fully is having that clear skin and that trusting yourself that it's going to stay clear without the doctor, without depending on a system for that to a certain extent. Because, we depend on the system to go order our skincare or whatever. But I remember what it was like. And it's not fun. I'm gonna just end this by showing y'all some of the worst of it. I'll show y'all some of the worst of it if y'all can really see what was going on. My skin will always get clearer in the summer because probably less stress. That's another big thing. If you can see my cheeks in this, like, I don't know if it's picking up, but um yeah, it got to a point like a lot of the time my forehead would be kind of clear, but then my cheeks wouldn't, and it would just be a back and forth type of thing, and I could never really figure out the cause. But it's all those things. This was that same day. It's a combination. You can even see in my face. It's a combination of all those things. And when I started healing, first had to accept it. Like, yeah, you gotta accept this is what's happening to you, but you can make a change. You don't have to stay this way. And of course, I had my journeys with different medications and they changed my whole skin tone. Like the tretinoin changed my whole face. Like my skin tone was like way lighter. Like that's not even my true skin tone on my face. Um, but that's what acne medication can do. It can bleach your skin, and my skin was bleached for a long time because I forget what it's called. I forget what it's called, but it was benzoyl peroxide mixed with other things. And then when I got off of that medication, it's a whole journey that you have to go on for yourself. It might be a lot easier for you. But this is when I started really just accepting and healing and loving my skin for who I was, for who it was, and seeing actually, okay, it can get better. I know my cheeks still have the stuff, the little dark spots or whatever, but it was getting better. and better because I would continuously do these things and create habits where I was journaling, asking myself questions, and fasting and forgiving myself, forgiving other people. And that is the journey. The healing journey will require a system. It requires nearly a scientific method where you make an observation about yourself, you ask yourself questions, then you form a hypothesis. Then you test the hypothesis, you gather the data, and you conclude. And from that conclusion, you decide the next step. And it starts all over again. And it's a fun journey. This is me the other day. Oop, yeah. Blessings and clear skin to you. Stay golden.